From 1966 and director Yasuzo Masamura comes another in Arrow Video's series of Blu-rays of Japanese, let's call them genre films. Sometimes they're exploitation, sometimes they're horror, sometimes they're action. This is sort of a mix of, I would call this like a melodrama, edgy exploitation-y melodrama to a degree. Looks gorgeous, by the way. Amazing cinematography, great lush color from the new Arrow transfer here. This is the tale of a woman who, a young couple, and they're full of love and glee and hope for the future, and something goes wrong, and the girl basically gets snatched away to be forcibly tattooed and become a geisha, and she has this giant spider tattoo put on her back, and it says that the tattoo artist put that in there with the spirit of the woman who would be like a black widow, basically consuming men's souls and things like that. She is thrown into that world. The boyfriend is taken out and beaten and presumed dead, and boy, isn't that a happy way to start a movie. Very melodramatic, very melodramatic, let's say. And basically, the woman lives this life as a geisha under duress and ultimately just presumes that this is her fate and that's what she'll do. And the boyfriend he survives the beating, he regains his strength, and he basically makes his way back to find what happened to her and resume their grand love. He sees what she's become. He's not thrilled with that. She takes him and utilizes him to enact vengeance on the men who put her in that position. So it's very film noir-y, femme fatale character archetype for the female. She's the woman who's manipulating the one who loves her to do her bidding, to get revenge and help her become, top geisha with the big tattoo. So it's interesting, the film, to me. It's a film I'd never heard of. I'm not sure it's a film that had ever gotten much of a video or theatrical release in this country, as is, I think, the case of a lot of these new Toei. I think this is a Toei film. Toei releases from Arrow, and it's not as explicit or sleazy as you would think for a film with this subject matter in comparison to a lot of their other recent releases. There's no nudity. There's a little bit of blood here and there with, wounds, because there is the savage beating of the boyfriend and then the revenge he enacts on people. Extremely, not to give anything away, but extremely downbeat, fitting with the whole melodrama exploitation kind of ending. And it was just really interesting to me. It had a very good but sort of depressing, morbid isn't the right word, but you kind of knew this wasn't going to go anywhere good. Over the entire course of the storyline, it was just like, oh, this is really probably certainly not going to end well for the boyfriend. And the way that the girlfriend, the female tattooed spider black widow woman is behaving, probably not going to end up well for her either. So it felt sort of like a little bit of an edgy soap opera to me. As with any Arrow release, the visuals are stunning, or as stunning as they can look. Amazing restoration work they do there. And you get a video introduction for the film, commentary by a historian, and let me look at my notes, trailer and an image gallery. So as with anything Arrow, you get the history of the genre from these historians, and you get the history of the filmmaker and where this sort of fits in their overall body of work and the themes that they would often work with. So I'm always really enjoying these Arrow Video releases of these Japanese films that I'd never heard of, because I enjoy Asian cinema. I enjoy that period in Japan of filmmaking, and if it's a period piece, how the films look, and if it's a contemporary piece of just what that world looked like there. And this is another that stands well beside all of the others that they've been releasing lately. So to me, it's education. It's entertainment and education, but I enjoy getting a little bit smarter about Japanese cinema and culture through these releases, because they do get into that. It's not just about the movies. It's about what the film is based on and the era the film is based on, and the societal practices that are mentioned in the films. The supplements really drive that home. I mean, the film would be good. I would enjoy the film anyway without the extras, but the extras really give me a greater appreciation for the people who made the film and for the industry and culture as a whole, which is cool. I like to get smarter as I go along. So I highly recommend, from Arrow Video on Blu-ray, IREZUMI from 1966.